What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Ever Bitter Brittany. And today we are with the hubby. And as y'all know, them Connerlys is in the state of transition. We have moved from California to Texas, and we are now in Texas. And we are in my hometown and my baby's hometown. My oldest baby, we had her out here.
Anybody want some kids?
No, let's do it like this, Daddy. No.
Today.
What? No,
Anywho.
don't.
So we moved out here
To the H.
today,
And we dropping off kids right now.
around Christmas time.
Christmas time, girl.
We made the decision, and it was not an easy one. I fought hard against that decision because I absolutely love California.
Even after we got here.
Yes, even after we
Take
got
me,
here.
Lord. Like
You know.
all that.
And I noticed that people handle transitions differently.
She
You know,
didn't handle
my husband, I wouldn't say about handling it wrong way. I would say that everybody has their way of of dealing with transition. Some people speak outwardly and they have to talk through it, and some people process. You're messing up my video. Sorry, y'all. And some people process. My husband is a processor. You know, he processes things. I learned that, you know, he don't initially talk things out. He kind of like sits and processes it, and then he has his moments where he shares them, but it has to be in a place where he know that I'm ready to listen. Whereas me,
Where you going with this? I'm about to put you up.
I express my feelings in the moment. Like if I'm angry, I'm expressing my anger in the moment, not in a way in like no violent way, but it's just like I'm angry. I'm mad.
Get violent, though.
No, I can't. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Put that on your best pair of drawers.
You know what? Leave my drawers out of this conversation. But anyway, so I'm learning a lot, you know, and then I'm also learning that some things, you know, I'm picking up from him, and I'm like, okay, some things I can't process before I actually, you know, talk them out. And one thing I've learned is that you're a great listener.
I be listening. I be trying to tell you.
He's a great listener.
I be trying to help you.
Sometimes I be wanting him to respond, and in those moments is when he's like extra quiet and he don't really respond, because he be like, babe, I'm listening to you.
But when I respond, I be dropping them nuggets. Give my flowers now. You will be walking for the rest of the day.
He dropped some nuggets.
Okay then, and don't be talking about no McDonald's nuggets.
They
I'll be
like
dropping them Raisin Cane strips. You understand
We
what I'm
love
telling you?
it. We love the Raisin King.
She's about to be homeless.
Or whatever.
I love
So,
it.
babe, what's your intake on transition? What's your take on it?
It's sometimes like
He about to drop them nuggets.
change. I know a lot of people don't like change. I, for a long time, did not like change. But as I got older, I understood that even though you don't like it, change is necessary.
Change is necessary.
And you can't avoid it. Transition is necessary, and sometimes you just can't avoid it.
So what are some of the things that you do to get through transition?
Ooh,
Yeah?
ooh, girl.
What is this?
One of the things that you mentioned, obviously I do a lot of processing. I kind of like compartmentalize things in my mind before I start to talk it out.
Come on.
You don't want to lash out. I'm not the lash out guy unless I'm really, I'm really upset.
Right.
But most importantly, I do a lot of talking to the Lord to make sure I'm not crazy first. Lord, you heard what I heard, right? And it's important to process things because, let's be honest, we are made to react.
Yeah.
And sometimes our reaction is not the best response.
Right.
So if you take a minute, process, and look back on what the decision is to be made, it's a better choice to make. So a job came up, and I told her, and she kind of gave me this look like, are you lying right now? And I was like, no, I'm not lying, opportunity and the age. She's like, you seriously? Like, yes. Listen, I didn't tell a lot of people about this for a long time because we weren't sure who were actually going to make the transition.
Yeah.
But oh boy, she fought me. Ooh, it was some war in the hole. I mean, if y'all saw Avengers Endgame, that's what it was in my house.
I'll go get you some.
Like, she was Thanos and I was the rest of the Avengers by myself.
Okay.
But at the same time, I get it because, you know, we lived in Cali together with the kids. This April will be 10 years.
Yeah.
It would have been 10 years exactly in Cali.
Yeah.
We had 2 kids there. She went back to school. She got her degree. I get it. 1,000%. I can't even knock her for that feeling because, I mean, I spent a decent amount of time, half that time, here when I met her in Houston. So I totally understand it. That was hard to leave. So I gave her a safe space, an open space for her to express everything that she was feeling up until the last day. Even after we got here, she didn't want y'all to know she was here. I don't need them to know.
It took me a minute. I process.
So
before I just put myself out there.
I totally get it. When you go and create and do everything that she accomplished out there with the kids, our own place, our apartment was right down the street from my job, so that was super convenient. Along with the kids' schools, she got her degree. Like, when you put all of that in perspective, anybody in her position would feel the same way as she felt. So I can't knock her for it. But again, I had to tell her softly, sweetly, while rubbing her kneecaps, that this is necessary.
So what is
in the long run, it's going to benefit us.
So, like, what is some of the things that we learned about transitioning as a family?
As much as you would like to prepare, it's just like kids. Nothing can prepare you for it. Some things can cushion the blow and help, but for the most part, you got to roll with the punches and learn to bob and weave. You can try to tell as many people as you like, or you can try to keep it to yourself, but in some transitions, you need a support group. It's good to have some kind of support. And don't be afraid to express how you feel about it.
Yeah.
We had to tell the kids. When we told the kids, they were excited at first. New place, new city, new school, new house, all that kind of stuff. Or renting. We're not buying yet, but we will. And when we got here, it wasn't until they start going to the new school out here is when we really saw how they truly felt about the transition.
Yeah, it was hard
watching them cry.
Yeah.
And just cry in my arms, talking about how much they miss their friends.
Yeah.
As a parent, that's not easy.
No, it's not.
That's not easy to hear. That hurt.
And sometimes it makes you question, like, as a parent, did we make the right decision?
I don't deserve these kids.
Because you can't see the effects of the decision
until later on.
And so I think for me, it's just learning to accept what is.
Is your word?
Yeah. And then just being open about, being open about the process, creating a safe space to
they're trying to connect. Creating
a safe space to talk about the process, while also being open to hear, another person's ideas and their thoughts about it, even if it conflicts with yours. And I think that's the biggest thing. Communication has probably been like one of our biggest keys during this transition, and just being honest.
1,000%.
And then having the capacity to receive that honesty, I feel like is super important, because sometimes you can take on somebody else's expressions of how they feel, and you can take it on for yourself, and you can make that about you, which then can cause offense. Get defensive. So I think being open and understanding that their expression of the process or of the transition is not necessarily has anything to do with you, but it's more so about the internal battles that they're experiencing within themselves, and just being open and having a space of love to be able to receive what they're
Listen, it was
experiencing.
some arguments, boy.
Yeah,
it was some arguments.
But I feel like it made us better.
First of all, your big toe stink. Like we was in below bed.
But I feel like it made us better. She was coming from a family, like it was bad. It made us better.
Again, back to the safe space to talk about that. It's not easy for anybody. When I initially told the kids, like I said earlier, they were happy. They were excited. They were ecstatic. All they really heard was a bigger house, bigger space.
Yeah.
They didn't hear what I was
all
really
the little things that go into transitioning, like being in a new school, having to meet new friends, having to learn differently, because education in California is different than education in Texas, having to learn a new area, having to, learn a new environment. Like there's things that go into transition, and then you having to make sure that you remain who you are, or even accept some of the changes that might come with you in this new place, and know that, as long as you being true to who you are, and, just trusting God in the process, eventually all the pieces will fall as they may. So that's my take on transitioning with family. We've been talking about transition. I've been talking about transition on different platforms, and so I thought that bringing on the family and hearing that the take from my husband and how he's been dealing with this transition, and giving us a space to be able to share with you guys, because I know we ain't the only one that has experienced transition between the time of 2020 and now. Some of us experienced transition by adding on additions to the family, who's now asleep back there. So one thing's for sure, it makes you stronger, if anything. So anything else, Lou?
No.
All right, so we love y'all. I hope that this blesses somebody or helps somebody in some type of way. Until next time.